And you are here with your girl Shereen Simon and Giovanni. And
Yo, what's up?
I am the founder of blackprint.com, the host of Voices and Vibes, and the owner of Perspective Studio Productions, which I'm not in as yet, but I'm gonna head there right after this call. And Giovanni, how you doing today?
Girl, doing good. If you hear Spencer breathing, it's because we just finished our 4 miles, y'all. So it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and we are doing 168,000 steps for the 168,000 women with metastatic breast cancer looking for breaking research. So it's going to be like around 73 miles for the entire month total. Of course, Spencer is getting closer into the studio, so he can definitely let you guys know he's participating in the challenge. So if you want to check it out, me and Shereen talked about it last week, but it's on my TikTok, on my Instagram, on my Facebook. All you see it on the screen, Endo PCOS Wellness Queen. So type that in and you'll find it on the profiles or in the description. Follow both of us on all of our different platforms. But you'll see the flyer and you can tap in and see how you want to support this month. But I'm vibing good, Shereen. About to drink my apple juice.
Good, good, good. Well, I am drinking a bit of water, a bit of the tea I have in my cup today is dandelion tea and wait, is it peppermint tea? And peppermint tea. So I'm actually just drinking it cold. I've been meaning to try dandelion tea and green tea because they say that's really good to like alleviate gas, but this has been good. I'm drinking it cold. Sometimes I drink it warm, but today I'm drinking it cold. So cheers. Bam, bam. Well, because I'm not in the studio today, Giovanni, I have a different way to check us in. I was trying to get there, but I couldn't get there fast enough today. I almost forgot that we have this one because we booked this one earlier from since like last week. So I was out.
We've been early.
Yeah, I was out doing my appointments and completely forgot. And I'm like, oh my goodness. But I get these emails. I mentioned this, I think, last week as well. I get these motivational emails that get sent to me. And I'm actually going to read the one from yesterday to check us in, if that's cool.
Okay. I think you did an email before with us, and it was really good.
Did.
Okay.
I did, yeah. So this one says, I welcome the unexpected. I am ready for the unknown. May what's meant for me enter my life effortlessly.
One more time, run it back.
All righty.
Wait, can you hear Spencer?
No.
Okay, good. I was going to go on mute. Go ahead.
No. We welcome the unexpected and we are ready for the unknown. May what's meant for us enter our lives effortlessly. So that one I feel is like kind of interesting because I know we're going to talk about dreams. But sometimes when you're like going down a whole path, other things kind of come into play and like you get winded a bit and then all of a sudden it's like either the dream changes or it expands. Well, that's changing, right? And it just either gets bigger, smaller, completely changes. So sometimes you just got to welcome in the unknown and where whatever's meant for you will get to you or you will get to it however which way, right?
Yeah, I like it. It just seems like be optimistic, but open for whatever that comes your way and know that it's for you when it gets there. Because I think a lot of times, Shereen, we feel like we don't deserve some of the things that we actually get when it comes. Like, is this true? Is this really for me? Did this really happen? And then I just think it was the word that I chose on Sunday. So, Sunday I do my meal prep, my juice prep on Sundays during an NFL football game. And before we got off the live and the people that were in the live, I asked for your word of the week. And my word of the week was embrace. And so that's what I wanted to say when you talked about that. It's just like embrace it, like embrace all the things that are coming your way that you believe is for you, that you're going towards. Just embrace it, no matter what it looks like, feels like at this particular point in time. Embrace it. And I think that's such an amazing email and word and affirmation I don't know if we say paragraph, statement, message. There you go, affirming
Message.
message
Mhm.
for us to embrace, especially when it talks about our theme for tonight or our topic for tonight, which is living out your dreams. So I thought that was
Mhm.
on point. Way to check us in, Shireen.
Mhm. That's interesting. Today, somebody, oh, wait, somehow we got Siri. I think when you said Shireen, Siri came on.
Oh,
um,
Siri's
I'm like,
name
oh,
Shireen?
it probably sounded close. um, my word for the year is grace. And today I was speaking to someone, and
Oh,
then
the
they,
whole year. Oh, wow. Okay.
yeah, like I think
Okay.
I've mentioned before, like in the beginning of a year, when like we're starting the new year, we kind of pick a word. I pick a word. I ask my kids to pick a word,
I
and
do the
it's
same
something
thing
that
with my
we,
students.
yeah, yeah. And grace has been my word. And I've said it in our group chats, like, give yourself grace, give yourself grace. But today, someone said it to me. They were like, I think you need to give yourself grace. And I was like, interesting. Because I was I not, but sometimes you can't see what you're projecting, right? So I don't know if I'm being too hard on myself or what the situation is. But I did find that one interesting. And sometimes people see what you can't see. So yeah. Mhm.
Hey,
I was
Marie.
gonna say we see Marie. I think Marie is new. Is Marie someone from your group? No?
I don't know. Might be. Marie, where you checking in from?
Hey Marie.
Welcome to Herbal Tea Thursday,
Yes.
our wellness live series. And matter of fact, Marie, you came right in time because now we're diving into our wellness win. So,
Win.
y'all, I already told y'all earlier, make sure you are subscribed to me and Shireen on all our social platforms that are in the description of our video, as well as our podcast. Both of us are also podcast hosts. Okay, Kentucky. Way to check in. And so we're talking wellness win. So Shireen, the wellness win for me this week. Oh, the wellness win for me this week will have to be that. Every day this week, me and Spencer have done our 4 miles. One day this week we didn't get it in the morning, but we got it in the evening. Like we still did it that evening, even though we're a morning people. And how you heard Spencer just now,
Mm-hmm.
we're not conditioned for any time that's not that 5, 6, 7 a.m.
Mm.
time, because
Yeah.
it's hotter here in Texas. But welcome, Marie. Thank you for being new. Drop your wellness win. Tell us one wellness win you've had for the week thus far. But that was ours, Shireen. That was ours. We got
Wow.
in 4 miles every day since Monday. And then let me pull it up. Let me tell you how many we've gotten so far for the month of October, because the goal is to get to 73. And I think it's like 5,600 steps a day.
Yeah.
But the goal is we're trying to get 10,000 steps. So when I take my break on Saturday and Sunday,
You go
and
double
just kind
time?
of rest, that's why I double time all the other days. So it's just like, whew, no stress.
Oh, so makes sense why Spencer was panting so much, because what's the weather look like right now for you today? Like,
It's warm, a lot warmer than what it usually is at around 6, 7 o'clock in
mhm.
the morning for us. So it was warmer, but you saw I have my hoodie on. So for the month right now, we're at 31.88 miles.
Okay.
So that's actually pretty good. Again, we got to get to 73. We're not even halfway there yet, so we're looking good thus far.
Which is good because we haven't hit half of the month as yet. So
exactly. And my step for today is 8,549. So when you get in those 4 miles, and you don't have to get into 4 miles all at one time, of course, you just look for striving with your steps. It works out. So I did pretty good.
that's good. That's good.
That's my win. What you got? What's your win? Marie, don't forget to tap in with your win. Go ahead, Shireen.
For me, what is my wellness win? I mean, I have not made it to the gym this week as much as I'd like. I don't even think I made a period. I've been busy, but I want to say that getting in this dandelion tea has been my wellness win. Like, also, I'm probably going to say also just being very conscious of how I've been eating this week. Because I haven't made it to the gym, I'm even more conscious. I've had other people say, "Hey, why don't we go for this? Why don't we go for that?" And I'm like, "Nah, that's just not even worth. It's not
Look
even
at
worth. It's not even worth
you.
it." I'm working too hard for that. It's just not even worth having it. And I'm not saying I don't have guilty pleasures, but like,
Of course, that you're still human. Like you're not
right?
supposed to be perfect.
But
Yeah.
I think like when you are being very intentional, you will kind of stop and think, well, is this contributing to that hourglass, or the curves that are coming out, like is this contributing to that? And if it's not, and so the dandelion tea was one, excuse me, that I had heard about last week. Actually, it was last week Thursday. It was exactly a week ago. And
About a week ago.
yeah, because we were in the studio and I had a client in the studio and she had mentioned it to me. Funny
Yep.
enough, we
I was
already
gonna
had it
say
at
that.
home. Yeah, we already had at home. My daughter had some. So um, that I'm just wanting to consume that and see how my body's reacting to it. I'd say that has been my wellness win.
I love that for you. It was going to be the two things that I said in regards to that. Was one, I know you were just talking about dandelion greens with one of your clients that was in the studio with you, and then the second one was going to be that you told us, "What's up, Tamisha?" You told us that the fact that you didn't go to all the places that you got invited to. You remember you were talking about going out to eat, go have this, go have that, and you was like,
Oh,
nah.
it wasn't even like going out. It was like, let's order this, let's order that. Do you want to eat
Gotcha.
this? Yeah.
So when you said that, it made me think about this thing that came to me when me and Spencer was walking. It was like, love you, live better. And I was like, the more you love
Mhm.
you, the better you'll start to live, because the choices that you start to make for yourself, the things that you're consuming, the
Mhm.
eliminating of distress, setting boundaries, protecting your peace, being loyal to your peace, how you're eating, what you're eating, how you want that food to functionally, benefit you, and then the movement that you do intentionally, because there's healing in that, it's beneficial for your body to move. It was like, love you, live better. Like the more you
Mhm.
love yourself, the better you tend to live. And so that's something else that kind of came to mind, because it's like, oh, you loving you and you loving this journey you're on, you're protecting that at all costs in your
Mhm.
decision making, to not just be eating any and everything, knowing that you're really showing up right now for yourself. And I love that.
Yeah, yeah, just making those decisions. And I mean, it's not everything because I did not get much sleep last night, as you see me yawning. But and it's not always going to be like that. Like it's not
Right.
always going to be that way. So there's going to be things that sometimes it gives, and sometimes I consciously make the decision, okay, we doing it all nighter tonight. But this one is really more about food specifically, and because I do need to get to the gym because I feel like when I need, that is like a form of release for me. So,
It is. And I
mhm,
think it's World Mental Health Day today too, Shireen. And that
well,
it definitely helps. Like exercise, movement definitely helps with your mental
mhm,
health. It helps with your hormones,
yeah,
emotional and physical. So it's a big thing when you move like that. So
yeah. It looks like Tamisha is showing her win. My win is I passed my physical for my upcoming job. Just waiting to see what I do next. Let's
let's
go. Let's
go.
go. Let's go, Tamisha.
Yeah.
Congratulations, girl.
Uh-huh. Spencer,
Congratulations.
say shout out to Tamisha. Go ahead and speak. Speak. You gonna speak? Spencer said no, he's not.
That's okay. Spencer just spent
Want to
time
speak?
catching his breath. It's cool. Um, but Giovanni, so if
Yes.
you don't mind, if we can get right into the conversation,
Why would I? Let's live these dreams. Come through.
have you, okay, so we're talking about living out our dreams.
Yes.
Do you feel, I don't know if it's a fair question to ask, do you feel if you're living out your dreams? Or I feel like, I feel like we're all working towards our dream. Maybe not all, but I can only speak for us to a degree. But I feel like I don't know if we really consider how much work is required to living out your dreams, right? Especially when your dreams are extremely, extremely ambitious. So, do you feel like you're working towards your current dreams, Giovanni?
I do. I do feel like I'm working towards my current dreams. Nowhere near it. I feel like you really have to, or you really should consider dreaming as big as possible. I heard someone say your dreams should be so big it should kind of scare you.
Oh yes, girl.
And not necessarily like scare you in a bad way, but be like, oh my gosh, I'm capable. Like, will I really be able to be the vessel that does these great things, be able to actually see this come into fruition? And so that type of like scared almost. But I feel it, Shireen. I was actually thinking about it on my walk as well. And it's like it's that thing that kind of creeps up on your shoulder when you're kind of getting a glimpse of it, or like,
you
hey,
can feel it coming on.
Yeah. You want me to tell you about that real quick or no?
No, of course, go.
So my students, so I'm used to working with girls. So I was the last 4 years I was at all-girl middle school. I was at all-girls middle school. And so it was easier to talk about their period, right? And it was easier to say, Miss Ford, my period is on, I'm tired, that chronic fatigue. Miss Ford, I don't feel good, I feel like I gotta throwing up actually, hormones just kind of all over the place, not being in pain, crunched over. And it's like, okay, what did you eat? Have you been walking? Oh, you play a sport. Okay, cool. Like just really trying to figure out some of those things for them. And it was like, okay, how many of y'all have painful periods? How many of y'all have that low back pain? And so it was easier to have those conversations in middle school. And it's what kind of inspired me to say, you know what? I want to have a youth empowerment expo type thing, to really get middle school, high school girls around, because a lot of people, when I'm on the podcast that I'm interviewing on my Empowered Plates, Empowered Lives podcast, they kind of talk about having these horrible period experiences since they were in like elementary, middle school, high school.
Mine were painful. I was hunched over painful.
That was you too, Shireen?
Yeah. I've had my cousin and I had really painful periods. And when I danced, I've said this before, when I was dancing, it wasn't as painful. But as soon as like I stopped dancing, then it became excruciating. And even as an adult, like my first 3 days are really painful.
See, I never had really painful periods like that. But again, when you just think your period experiences are normal anyway, because it's what you normally experience. But it was the like nauseous, like throwing up. And I would think that it was food poisoning. Even when I got close to like right before my stage 4 endometriosis diagnosis and PCOS, I thought it was food poisoning. Like, what did I eat? Like I automatically went to that versus it being something totally different that was going on. And so I remember 6th grade, I didn't even get to go to school the next day thinking I was food poisoned, having lasagna from the country kitchen line. And I just told my mom like not too long ago about it. And she was like, yeah, I remember that. I thought it was 7th grade. I definitely remember it being 6th grade, but maybe it was 7th grade. But I remember that. And it was like, this isn't normal. Like missing school because of your period isn't normal type stuff. So I want to have a youth empowerment expo to kind of talk about what's normal and what's not normal, and then ways that they can kind of navigate having a healthier period, but most importantly, just having a healthier life. And I've had some students that really love fruits and vegetables. And then I've had other students who just really eat a lot of junk, a lot of processed foods, a lot of dairy, a lot of, things that don't support them while they're on their period. Makes things kind of a little bit worse. And even now that I'm in high school, I've had a student whose family kind of a student whose family kind of normalized the pain and said, oh, your aunt gets back pain, your aunt throws up really bad when her period is on, that type of stuff. And so, no, you can't come home, no, you can't stay home, I'm not coming to pick you up type thing. That's just normally what's happening, you're staying at school type thing. And there was another student, I talked about it on my live a few weeks ago, who doesn't even have a period for like 5 months. And I was like, that's not normal. And the only thing the doctor told her was, she could be put on birth control. She could like just suggesting birth control. And her daddy was like, no, I'm not letting my child be on birth control. Like kudos to dad, but doctor, where are the other options for her, And so I always had that question at the end of my podcast, or like this, one of those questions, my signature questions is like, give some tips to the girl dads, the role models, the father figures, because a lot of times they don't know how to navigate those experiences for, their little ones, you know. And a lot of times it's like, talk to your mama, let me let you talk to your auntie or somebody else. They're not even having the dialogue, versus they should know what kind of products, you know, to kind of purchase for their loved ones. They should kind of know certain things holistically that can support them, whether it's herbal teas or, you know, a hot water bottle, heating pad, you know, different things like that, just to be more mindful and considerate in a space where girls feel comfortable to talk about it. Because we don't always feel comfortable going and telling any and everybody how we're feeling and what we're doing in regards to our period life. So I think that will be dope. And then, you know, I love food. So I'm a foodie. So to be able to have a lot of different juice, smoothies, different food options for them to explore when it comes to fruits and vegetables that they could get more of to help them with navigating their period, that'll be like one thing I would love to have. And even if it's just like an annual youth empowerment expo that they can really come and just make it really fun, engaging, but really hitting on my M to the third degree healing empowerment formula, that mindset, that mindful eating, and that movement. And so that's one of the dreams that I have. And so when I hear these students come to me sick or not feeling good, it's, let's go listen to my podcast, check out some other people who've had these same experiences, and start thinking about some things that you could probably start to change in your life by also empathizing with them, what they're going through.
So I wanted to go back to the dream, because there's a lot of things you're already doing. Is the dream the event, the big event?
It's a part of it, yeah. And making that event a movement. And so that way you're getting more awareness for PCOS, endometriosis at a younger age, to where people are more educated when they're having these discussions with their medical providers, and they're understanding what in their household, what in their lifestyle could possibly be alternated or changed that could be a little bit more fruitful and more vibrant for everybody. And even with the Nadia, who was the guest on episode 57, that dropped yesterday, she was going through so much with her period, Shireen, as a young child, but she felt so bad going to tell her dad about it because her mom was battling cancer at the time, you know. And it's like not having that place to talk about it. But when you have an event that's coming up that's saying, hey, do you experience, you know, painful periods, you're missing school days, because it, like, when you're actually talking to the kids who are feeling these things and their parents know these things, it's like, oh, you might need to go to that event. You might need to go check this out, you know? And being a teacher, I just feels like this is kind of being a part of that path, because I already have good relationship with kids. You know what I mean? I'm already building that and building that momentum. It might already start in like the schools, you know, school districts, and then moving into something that's big or on a bigger scale. And I could just see it getting bigger and bigger. But the goal would definitely be to educate and make more awareness on some of these conditions that are happening, but most importantly, to help with healthier habits and lifestyle changes that could benefit the whole family. But most importantly, your young child that you don't want to get accustomed to always taking pain pills, being on birth control at a young age, and stuff like that.
It's interesting because where you say, oh, they normalizing not going, normalizing, we shouldn't normalize like needing to stay home. I'd rather stay home. And it's interesting because hearing a teacher say it is like, no, I want to stay home. I'm not well. I'm going to stay home, as opposed to, why should I be out here? I feel like, yes, we need to make the changes to, and this is going more than going beyond the dream, or it's a part of the dream, but we're going deeper than I was expecting us to go down this path. But yes, there's the changes that need to happen with what's actually causing the pain, understanding that root cause. That's one thing. And then what adjustments do you need to make? Because everybody's body is different. It may not be tied to a condition. It may just be this, or it may just be that, or it may just be a condition. And I think the benefit of it really is nobody was looking at the condition before, right? So it wasn't even being diagnosed properly. And you're right, the solution has always been, oh, go on birth control. Just go on birth control. Oh, well, we can put you on birth control and that will help you with it. Da, 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 da. No, because then we're like introducing our body to a whole other thing. And then we don't know what else we're doing there. But
Agree.
If there's one thing that I think would be more considerate is, yes, let normalize having 2 days a month at home. because their period is just that painful, especially if they have a condition, whether they have one or not. If it is that extreme, because we see on social media now where they have like those period uterus like belts that the men put on them, and the men cannot tolerate them. And that doesn't even compare to
Not at
like
all.
exactly like the pain that we some of us women go through. So if that's the case and that's just a belt, that's like an artificial emulation of what the actual pain is, and that does not speak to every woman is so different. So
Very much
I
so.
don't have a condition, but I have extreme pain. I don't have a condition, but I know that if I eat a lot of red meat one month, the next month it's a whole other thing.
Mhm.
So, normalizing, it doesn't even, it's not just school, like um, work, whatever. If it needs to be 2 personal days in the month, mind your business, because
Agreed.
I need to be crawled up underneath this blanket and nothing else is your business. Put it that way.
And I agree with you. Like that, I felt so bad for my student because she literally had to sit there and throw up multiple times in my class. And like, can you imagine just
Horrible.
having your peers just sitting there, like, and you're just calling Earl and just leaning over and just sitting there. And I've already taken you to the nurse, and the nurse says she can't do nothing for you. Then you coming back in my classroom, and it's just like it's okay. She's
Yeah.
it's okay. It's just that time, and we just have to be mindful. And I'm okay with that too, because as a teacher with those conditions, it's a safe space. You know what I mean? No one's going to judge you for that. You're going to get the comfort you deserve. I really need you to talk to your people about this because it's really not normal for you to be in this type of pain and to have to stay at school growing up.
Sometimes they need the teacher to advocate for them as
Or
well,
the nurse
or the
who,
nurse, or
and
that.
that's who I
Yeah,
went and talked to and walked her down there. But again, when we're
yeah,
having more of these conversations and we
yeah,
have a larger event where more people are educated on what's normal, what's not normal, things can start to change. Things
yeah,
can really start shifting. And the more of those events we have, the faster the movement will happen. And so
yeah,
that's one of my dreams
yeah.
that I have.
That's interesting. I think it's a great dream, a nice big dream. I am currently looking at probably not sharing big dreams at the moment on today's conversation, but more like the current dreams that I am working towards for even next year. And two things I wanted to share is what was the first one? What was the first one? Someone asked me today, do I think I should slow down? And I was like, okay, this is an interesting one. And it's not a bad thing. Like maybe again, sometimes I don't know what other people are perceiving. So am I um I know I got a bit of stress right now. So maybe it's a stress. So, that's why they are asking, and it's something that I'll definitely think about, right? Because looking in, you might see something completely different. Whereas for me, um especially like coming, and I don't think it's especially coming out of corporate, but because I come out of corporate, I think of everything in advance, right? So um if I was in a corporate space right now, we'd be looking at creating our roadmap for the next year, right? What are all the initiatives we want to do? And then prioritizing them. And what's going to be the impact, financial impact, all the other impacts to get it done? And maybe what's the capital required, right? So I have that type of hat on. And maybe I'm not looking at all of 2025, but I'm definitely looking at, okay, as a new business owner, what's required for like Q1, January to March, and then Q2, and what steps do I need to implement right now in order to support those dreams, right? And so some of those dreams I've had for over a year, right? And I keep pushing back the mark of when it should drop, or the things that not little things, the things that need to get done to support it. And I can't say little things because it requires me pulling people together, pulling resources together. Like I really want to film this pilot, and I wanted to film it in September, that passed. And I've bumped into people. And so people that are supposed to be a part of it. And even a grant just came up. I just found out about a grant yesterday. And I was thinking about, like, there's a person I want to partner with, or an organization I want to partner with for it. And I was like, you know what? If I am going to work towards these dreams, I literally need to start putting the action behind it now. Right. So this morning, as I was doing whatever I was doing, I came across this TikTok. And this is what I wanted to share. And it's about dreams. So I'm going to, what kills most people's dreams is addiction to instant gratification. Right. Okay. So I'm going to read the second part. There's somebody who said it, Alex Hormozy, and I'm just going to watch it to read it. Okay. The longer you can keep going without seeing the results of your efforts, the bigger you'll be able to win in life. The bigger you'll be able to win in life. 99% of people. The truth is 99% of people just end up giving up. Before the results catch up to their efforts. And somehow and it's funny because the person who posted it is a friend of mine out in Nova Scotia that I've interviewed before, but the same person who asked me, do you think you need to slow down? Give yourself grace, has said to me, I think a week ago, don't give up. Right. And so it's those little things that you hear. It's the little messages that come to you while you're in the process of building, because working towards your dreams is not always easy. It doesn't always feel positive. You don't always have the money. You don't always have the support. So I don't want to paint it as this, like, this glorious thing, because it takes real work, right? And you got to be willing to put that in. And sometimes you take a couple of steps back to be propelled forward. And even her saying to me, do you think or asking me to ask myself, do you think you need to slow down? The only thing I visualized with her saying that was like someone pulling that rubber band back. And the joke about it is I was like, I don't even feel I move fast enough. And so she's like, I think you need to give yourself grace. So it's interesting just having these things to think over. Am I doing enough? Am I doing too much? Am I giving myself grace? What work do I need to do to get towards this dream? And for me, I look at it like, if I keep putting a dream off, how important is it to me? Right? So, or, you reprioritize. It's different. You might reprioritize because you can't do everything. It's just not feasible, right? You're energized, energy-wise, you cannot do everything. Financially, you cannot do everything at the same time. So, I like the idea of talking about dreams, but talking about it from, I think, the standpoint of like putting in the work to get to it, as opposed to the dream. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like it. The thing that stood out to me when you were saying the video, the quote, the thing that I love, it says most people quit before the reward catches up to your effort. And so for me, visually looking at it, your effort is surpassed and it's what's coming after you. So the more you keep driving forward, you're not driving towards something, you're investing your effort towards something, and it has to catch up to you. So you have to just keep going and know that where you're going, it's coming to catch up to you. So don't give up. Because giving up doesn't mean, that means it's not going to make it up to where you are, because you have to keep going forward. And so I think that was the part for me, was like, dang, it's in my efforts. My efforts have to continue to go. It's not that my efforts are going to meet something else. Something has to come in align and match up with my
But it doesn't have to be coming behind you, because if you think about that, have you ever seen that meme where it's somebody underground and they're like digging for gold. And while they're digging this tunnel for gold, the gold is like sitting under here. And then they stop. Wait, trying
And
to put the
like
camera.
right
They
next
start, it's
to
right
it,
there.
it's
It's
like you almost had
exactly.
it.
So
Yeah.
this is the efforts. That little tunnel is the efforts, and that gold is the reward. Whether the reward is here, 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 here. If you think about your journey, sometimes you had to evolve into that person, that gold digger. No, sometimes you had to evolve into that person so you know how to manage the reward,
And
right?
you're only going to, in my mind, you're only going to get to that evolution of self if your why is big enough. And so if
Mm,
your why is big enough, that's going to be your motivation. That's going to be your determination. That's going to be where your
mm,
discipline comes in place for you to be able to get to that point, to be able to evolve, to be able to get all the things that you know you are destined to have, that you're deserving to have. And it kind of made me think back a little bit more into the week, Shireen, when someone we were having this conversation and I was asked, I think about a juicer. And it was probably because they saw one of my lives
mhm,
on
mhm,
Sundays when I was doing my juice prep and asked me about a juicer. And they said they really wanted to get back into a healthier lifestyle. They really wanted to, lose the weight. And there was a lady in my classroom that was visiting at the time, and she was like, "Yeah, I just want to lose weight." And I said, "Well, normally when I'm helping people, it has to be bigger than what's on the scale. It has to be, I just want to lose
mm,
weight, because losing weight is a goal. You hit that
mhm,
goal, and then now you're back to living the way you wanted to live. And then here comes that weight right back. It has to be bigger than just losing the weight. It has to be, I want a healthier lifestyle. I want to be able to be vibrant. I want to be able to move and move in a way that doesn't hurt, that doesn't stop
mhm.
me." I remember, I think you were saying earlier, like, I didn't like the way I think George was saying, I didn't like the way I was hearing myself recording houses when I was walking around, sounding like I'm out of breath, doing my videography job. I knew I needed to get up and start walking in the mornings. People don't like the way they feel walking up the steps. And it was like, it has to be bigger than that. You have to want to live a vibrant life. If you're seeing so many people in your family or your friends kind of deceased at an early age and they're all having health complications, why not be a healthier version of you?
But
Why
what
not start
about,
to figure those things out, so then that way it's not just I lose the weight and then I go right back to living how I used to live before I lost the weight and it all comes back. What's going to sustain you? And that's a
mm,
bigger why. That's a bigger reason for why you're making the changes that you're making,
mm.
just not to see a different number on a scale or hopes to get into this outfit when sooner or later you're going to merge into
Well,
not
I
being
don't know if I 100% agree with you, because what if you were smaller at one point and then you gained weight? So now you work back to get into that outfit, and then you kept it off, right? Like you
Then
didn't
you're
just
at a
gain
healthy
back
weight
all the,
management. That's the goal, to have a healthy
right.
weight management. Yeah.
But if that, no, that's the goal you're saying. If the goal was, well, my wedding's coming up, or my goal is, I got to get into this bikini because I'm going into on vacation. It's not that, like, someone, people set their goals, and sometimes it is just, my goal is I want to run this 5K. It's not that I want to be able to run 5Ks every month, or I want to be able to run, I just want to run this 5K. It's in November and I'm going to train to it, and once I did it, yay, I've
And I'm
accomplished.
not telling people who just want to lose weight just to lose weight is wrong. I'm just saying I like to see people look at their changes in a
Yeah.
way that's sustainable and helpful for their lifestyle, and
Yes.
not
So
just to
I
be able to
wasn't
reach that one goal. So that's all I was saying.
yeah, and I wasn't saying that, or implying that you're saying that's wrong. I'm just saying that your comment, the only comment you said is about sometimes the why needs to be bigger. But what, like, who determines if the why needs to be, if that
They
is
do,
their
because it's
why?
their goal. Yeah.
Exactly, exactly. So if that is their why, and their why is a short-term goal, and to them that's big enough, right? To them, that's big enough. So I understand, yes, make the lifestyle change. But if for them it's like, nah, I just need to lose 10 pounds. The lifestyle is, it is what it is. I'm fine. You know what I mean? It's different from, I need
Agreed.
to lose 100 pounds, or I need to stop smoking. I don't know. Sometimes the why might be big to them without it being a lifestyle change.
Could be, if they like the lifestyle that they're living and they don't want to
Mhm,
change it. I agree. It should not be a
mhm.
lifestyle change goal for them if they
Yeah.
like the
Well,
life
I'm
that.
not saying it shouldn't. I'm just saying they might not look at it that way. I'm not saying whether it should or should not. I'm just saying sometimes that's not how people are setting their goals, right?
Agreed. But in the context of the conversation that I was having, that I was talking to you about,
Mm-hmm.
they got to a place where they lost the weight and they were following a certain program. I think they ended up getting pregnant, and then that's when they just kind of lost it. They weren't consistently doing all of the things that they were doing before, because some people who just want to lose weight, and this is not everybody, they lose it by going on extreme measures or doing things that they know they would not typically want to do to keep
Mm-hmm.
and be at a healthier weight management. But people in my target audience with endometriosis, polycystic ovarian syndrome, fibroids, they want to be able to get at a healthy weight management once they lose it, because it's so
Mm-hmm.
hard for us to find the things that are working in our body to get us to
That point.
the losing the weight and then wanting
Mm-hmm.
to maintain it so it doesn't stress us, did cause distress
Mm-hmm.
and depression, and to not like our bodies because we're not able to get in alignment with them.
Yeah.
So for
There's
me,
a difference there. Yeah.
it is a
Definitely
bigger
a
one.
difference. Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah, girl. I don't know. So for me, I just feel like I'm really looking at what are the dreams, the current dreams, the current dreams. And am I putting the right efforts? Am I giving myself grace even though I'm putting in the efforts? And I think some of it is just also like releasing a bit of fear, right?
Mm.
Like reaching out to the people that we need to reach out to reach and surpass those goals, right? Something I was thinking about, oh, someone said, had a conversation with me yesterday, and it was a financial conversation. And they were like, just go do this for your business. I was like, well, I was kind of waiting until I did this and I did that. And they're like, no, just go and let people tell you yes or no. So
Mm.
just apply to that grant if it's going to help you support whatever your goal is financially from that standpoint. Like, and it's so funny because I sat into a grant, like almost like training informational session yesterday, and the host was saying, "Oh, I was speaking to someone, and they were trying to talk me out of. They were trying to talk themselves out of why they shouldn't apply." And I know they were talking about me.
Girl.
Little does that person know I already applied to the grant like a week ago. But I wasn't trying to talk myself out of it. I just didn't think that certain things I qualified, like I met the criteria. So I was
Mm.
like, well, are you sure? Because it says this, like my interpretation of it. But I think the underlying point that that host was trying to say was like, just do the things you need to do and let people tell you no, right?
Mm.
Just go after the things you want. And if it's not going to align with a particular person or organization or whatever it is that you're like, let them tell you no, but don't stop doing what you need to do. Right. So I've found that message in multiple conversations um, over the past couple of days, working towards my dreams.
And I think we talked about that before. A person's no doesn't mean what you have to offer isn't good. It's just not for them, or not for them at that time. And I think we
Mhm.
talked
Or
about
not for you at that time, right?
it.
Depending on what it is, right? Like if it's a
Agreed.
grant or something like that, right?
Mhm.
Like maybe
Agreed.
somebody else's why was bigger. So whoever's making the decisions was like, we're gonna go with this one as opposed to this one.
Or it
That's
aligned with what it is they wanted to fund versus what you had to offer to
exactly.
fund. Because I do know, depending on the time of the year, what their focus is on and mission is on, that's what they want to fund. I think even like, I think it's
Mhm.
called donors choose, and teachers can put out
Mhm.
there what they need for their classrooms and what they're going
Mhm.
for. If there's some organizations and they want to focus on the arts, and you have a
Mhm.
whole bunch of things that you have in your art program, your music program, and you put it out there, you might get $500,000, fund
Yeah.
it to your stuff, and you're still sitting over here with your, things for your classroom to make
Yeah.
it socially, emotionally connected, which is cheaper, but they're not funding SEL right now. They're funding arts.
Yeah.
That's where the push is. So again, it just not might be
Mhm.
in the alignment for the organization that's funding the stuff for yours.
Mhm.
Not that your stuff isn't worth getting funded.
Yeah.
And that's a testament to me too. I know that the things that I have to offer in regards to products and services are beneficial. I know it
Mhm.
because it's already helped other people who didn't have to
Mhm.
pay a dime for the things that I've been able to do with them to help them stay off of metformin and lose the weight for PCOS and have healthier changes and talk to them and have good conversations to help
Mhm.
manage this stress. I've seen it work.
Mhm.
Because I don't have anybody or having a whole bunch of people coming and ringing my, phone off the hook and sending all these
Yeah.
emails and doesn't mean that what I have to offer isn't there. It's just I probably haven't articulated enough to say, hey, I have something for you. I
Yeah.
have something that I can help you with if you want to go on this journey with me, if you're empowered to go. Some people just aren't ready. Some people aren't ready
Yeah.
to make the changes. Some people aren't aware that they are, kind of self-sabotaging, but feel stuck and don't like what's happening to them. People have to be ready for what it is that you have to offer, but at the same time, you have to be able to explicitly let them know how you can help them so they can say, okay, help me. I'm choosing you to
Mhm.
help me out. I think somebody else, and we can probably start wrapping it up. Somebody
Yeah.
else reached
Yeah.
out to me this week and asked me, when you started to change how you were eating,
Mhm.
did you just leave things?
Remind me, as soon as you're done this one, remind me. I want to tell you something for you to look up, or for maybe someone for you to interview. But go on.
Okay. They were like, did you just like let stuff go cold turkey? People say just let it go, just say I'm done with it,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
did you like slowly let stuff go away?
Uh-huh.
And I was like, it was definitely a journey. Like it still is a journey. It was just certain things I just started to eliminate over time. And if I had to do it again, I would start first with dairy because I just know that
Mm,
dairy just causes so much inflammation and disrupts so many things in the body, and it also feeds so many different things in the women's body, and causes so many different issues. I would start with dairy first, then
yeah.
probably go with some of the meats, keep the seafood, and then start navigating it that way. I definitely didn't do it all at one time. And then, it was plant-based. And then once the plant-based started, then it was like gluten, making sure it was gluten-free plant-based because all these different breads and pastas and stuff like that. Then when we started our 3-day raw challenge, then it went into
That's
raw.
right.
Yeah, then it went into raw, and then now it's raw. So it's definitely a journey, and it's been a journey for years. And it's just been how I've been evolving, what I've been learning,
Mm,
and then what experiences I've had that I've thoroughly enjoyed. And so if I just absolutely hated it, couldn't find anything to eat, and it was just boring and draining, I probably wouldn't still be doing like on the path that I'm on right now, because
yeah.
it should be motivating. It should be good. It should taste good. It should feel good. You should have fun in regards to how you're going about living your life and living it vibrantly. And so I just kind of wanted to hit that too, because sometimes people see you for who you are today, and you kind of got to remember to take it back to your beginning days or where you really
You do
started,
say
because
that.
that's what people are, to bring
Yeah.
them where you
Make them where
are
Make them where they
today,
are.
because that's sometimes what's hard for people, and we know that because we've asked other people, questions before, and they're
Mhm.
so ready to tell you about who they are today and what they're doing now, versus saying,
Mhm.
me a couple of years ago, probably where you are in your journey starting here, this is what I would probably be doing.
Yeah.
This is how I would address it if it was me. But go ahead.
Yeah, no, meet them where you always say meet them where they are. And you're right, because I think that for the particular example you gave, I think that I used to hear some people always say, oh, well, you know what? It took me 2 years to actually 4 years to actually get disciplined. You know what I mean? So we're out here
Yeah.
going, damn, that person's disciplined. Like, how do I gotta get on my shit. I gotta get on my Zoom. But meanwhile, let's not forget the first 4 years where your Zoom was just not even happening and discipline was not in your vocabulary, right? So let's not even be as hard on the people that are coming for that mentorship now. And then that kind of goes back to the girl saying to me, you need to give yourself a little grace, right? In that sense, because like it takes time. And it's funny because one thing I want to tell you, I did see on YouTube there's this girl. I have a few other more things to say, but just for you to put in your back pocket, I did see this woman that is, I think she's like 86, and she's been raw for like 40 odd years, 50 odd years, 60. Go look her up. I seen her on something when I was scrolling through YouTube, and I was like, Giovanni should interview her. But putting that aside, sometimes, just like you're saying, like the process that you went through, sometimes it's like in that particular situation, or if there's something internal or there's something external and you're trying to figure out what the hell's going on internally, it's like going through that process of elimination. I remember at one point I don't know if I was having a reaction to something. And so I started doing some reading, and it was like, oh, check if you have celiac disease. And I was like, I don't think I have this, but like, but what are the symptoms? Or like, what's involved in this? What do I need to cut out to see if there's any reaction or if things are healing? And then, and I'm like, bread. What are you talking about? I'm gonna eat all the bread I want. Bread and butter. You crazy. But so sometimes it's like going through that process just to kind of identify whatever's going on with you, whether it's a condition or not a condition. And then what was the last thing I want to say? Oh, I was saying to the person I was speaking to today, and I've been thinking about it, is like, I'll probably do a My Voice is My Vibe, where I'm talking about the things that I'm experiencing right now, but not release it for like 6 months, because I already know where I am right now is not where I'm going to be 6 months from now.
Hello, somebody. I hope nobody that's listening to this is in the same place in the next 6 months.
You
Y'all,
will
this is
not
a wellness
be
live
in the
series.
same
You need
space.
to make sure you're getting 1% better at something in
You're
some
not
way,
going to
shape,
be in
form, or
the same
fashion in
space.
wellness every single day. Just 1% better.
So hold on, let me finish. You're not going to be in the same space. You're
Not at all.
probably not where you were 6 months before. Somebody would say, like, the things where you are today are the things you prayed for already. Right? So the things that you've accomplished, the things that you've overcome, like you've literally prayed for these things in the past, right? Whether you've asked for these things, you try to surpass these things. So one, you can surpass whatever you're going through, or you can pray for wherever you're going to be, but like what you're experiencing today, and it could be good or bad, right? Like you could be going through you prayed for that moment. You prayed for some of the things that you have. You prayed for some, you might still be praying to get past some things, but like you've already surpassed things. So it's like, where I am now for me is like, I'm working towards a couple of things, but where I am today, I would not even have thought this is where I was going to be. I wouldn't have thought this is how much I would have accomplished, right? So yeah, I was thinking about sitting down and just doing a little My Voice is My Vibe when I get into the studio today, and just kind of talk about all the ish, because there's a bit of ish. And sometimes the ish is up here, but like talk about the ish so that in 6 months I could be like, whoo, remember when I was there? Or this is what I was thinking about. And it really took me making whatever changes or working towards whatever, or just reaching out to whoever to do the things that I wanted to do. So
okay. Something that you said when you were talking and it stood out to me that I wrote down is like, when you feel good about the changes that you made and your body's feeling good and you're feeling upbeat and you're feeling vibrant, lean into that. No matter how you think you're going to sustain it, how long you think you're going to feel that good, just lean into the things that make you feel good, make your body feel good, make you feel vibrant. And just keep doing more of those things. Keep doing more of those things, and then try other stuff too. Like whenever you try things, I tried last night to make this hemp ranch that somebody made on TikTok, and the way she be eating and tapping in that ranch, I was like, oh, I can't wait to try it. And I tried it, and it was so nasty. And I just kept like trying to like doctor it up. And that's like the second time.
Yeah.
Like we tried a sauce that somebody just ate it on camera, like it was absolutely
And you
amazing.
were like, that looks so good.
And my mom was like, like, no, not happening. Ew. And I don't even want to tell her that it doesn't taste good and ask for like insight or support, because she pulls up people's comments and she like goes in on them, like kind of.
But maybe, remember, you might have different taste buds, and
it could be, but you know, sometimes you just want to ask, hey, mine was a little bit more like this. Should I have less lime or this? But you never really know how people are going to respond to
Girl, take your licks. Say what you need to say.
I'm going to look into this raw bundle that I got before with other people's hemp seed ranch and try those. But I didn't give up. I went and got some more sunflower seeds. I think I got, sunflower seeds from Go Raw. And I got that, some water, some more hemp seeds. And I really wanted to do coconut milk instead of like water. I was like, I wonder if that'll give it a creamy type of vibe or something.
It'll give it a sweeter taste too. Yeah.
I even put a little raw agave, a little raw agave in it. And it was just not hitting like I wanted it to. But it gave me like this, almost like a soup vibe. I was like, this could be a base for like fall, and add some different things to it. Or I could put like some roasted, like put some butternut squash or something in something and blend it up, and this would be like a really good like fall raw soup type thing. I was like, okay, this messed up, but I'm on to something now. And then on that nasty ranch, I just started doing like some Old Bay, some other stuff to it, and then I like cut up some nori seaweed and put it in the kelp noodles and put it on there, and it was like an Alfredo seafood something. Just eat it, Giovanni. You got it edible.
Did it taste better?
Taste a lot better, but it was not the ranch it was supposed to be. That turned into a whole different thing. So I just wanted to say, even when you're trying different things and it doesn't work out, that doesn't mean just go right back into like the convenient food, the stuff that wasn't as good, the stuff that doesn't make your stomach feel better. Like, keep leaning in the direction of the stuff that makes you feel good. Keep leaning into the people who make you feel good, the spaces that value you, that really show up for you and say, you know what, you should love you and live better, and that's just all I had to say.
I'm going to add one other thing and then I can close this out. Okay. If you cannot remember, because you're saying while you're in that spot, and while you're saying it, I was thinking this, while you're in that spot, lean into those things that make you feel good. Sometimes you tend to forget because you get busy and life starts lifing. If you could try to remember what are those things that make you feel good, then you can kind of go back to leaning into it. Because sometimes, I know in the past, not right now, but like in the past, I'll get to a spot and then something will make me put on Soka. And Soka always makes me feel good. Always makes me feel good. Always makes me feel good. Okay. And I'm like, listen, first of all, God is a Trinity. And secondly, how did I forget? Because I have literally had to remind myself to put myself in that space. And even like this week, for the past 2 days, I'm like, okay, you know what's going to get you out of this? Go and freaking work out. Like, get in the gym, because as soon as I'm going to release, and then I'm going to be like, whew.
Those endorphins are going to be flowing.
Right now, let's get to the work. Right. As opposed to me, let's get to the work, this motherfucker. So, I'm going to my bed. I'm cold. I'm going to my bed. That's me right now. But yeah, so if you are in it, as Giovanni said, lean into it. But if you don't remember, try to, while you're sitting in the sobs of the sobs, try to remember what actually makes you feel good, so you can revert back to that.
And when you feel good, just leave yourself a voice note. Shireen's going to go and do a podcast episode for herself. Her voice is her vibe. If you don't have a podcast, don't want to do a podcast, that's another form of journaling. You audio note yourself. Say, oh my God, I am feeling so good right now because of whatever the reason may be. Talk good to yourself so you can go back and play it whenever you're not feeling so good about yourself or what's going on when life starts to life. And you start hearing your own voice talk life back into you, love on you. So you can do that.
That's what one of the things Donnie had us do when we wrote our affirmations. I feel like it's over a year now, and I have them on my mirror in my bedroom, but I have voice notes that I can play of me reading them, and the energy at the time that I read them, that energy just emits from the voice recorder when I play it back. And so it's like, it's me feeding into me. It's me loving on me. It's me pouring that love back into me. And I'm like, let me just get up right quick. Right. So I know we have gone right to the rim. Well, did you want to shout out anything, or did you want to say anything before I wrap it up?
Y'all, in the description of my video, there is a link for you to download a free 8-week journal, y'all. Get the journal and show up for yourself in the next 8 weeks. Be aware of your mindset. Be aware of what you're eating. Be aware of how you're moving, and start thinking about the things that you want to change. Just think about one thing you want to shift in your life and just start making those shifts. Even if you say, you know what, Giovanni, it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. I see you got a challenge going on. I'm a start with just getting my steps in. If you know you're not ready to start stepping, it's have one fruit juice or smoothie, or eat a whole fruit. Having one meatless meal for today, and there you go, your juice, your smoothie, or just a whole fruit. So check out the flyer, but get that 8-week journal so you can see and feel a connection with yourself and how you are showing up with it comes to your well-being, when it comes to just loving you so you can live better. Also, there's a link to 4 vibrations. If you want to book a call so I can see how I can help you, support you on changing just that one thing, so you don't feel so overwhelmed of trying to change a whole bunch of different things all at once. Just showing up for yourself. And I could probably help you with utilizing that 8-month journal to the best of your ability. So go ahead and click in the links in the description of my video, just so I can be able to support you. As well as, don't forget to subscribe to the Empowered Plates, Empowered Lives podcast. Y'all, episode 57 dropped yesterday, but just go vibe. Check out the titles, look at the thumbnails, and see what speaks to you, and go tune into the conversation. But don't forget to leave a comment so I know you came through, and let me know what your takeaway was, or what else you wish would have came out of the conversation, and maybe we'll run it back with that same guest.
Awesome. And for me, I want to say it is therapeutic to get on the mic. There's like the podcast where you're like interviewing people, so you can definitely check out Voices and Vibes. That's my podcast. And I interview Black-owned businesses, but there's also therapy and just getting it out. It's kind of like, I've used the analogy journaling. It's kind of like journaling, but like on the mic. So there is just absolute therapy in that for yourself. So if you are in Toronto and you are looking for a podcast studio, we have Perspective Studio Productions. We do full production. If you have an event and you want to capture the voice of your customer, evergreen content that you can use for marketing, then definitely reach out, because we definitely specialize in that type of video content to help you promote you and promote your why, but really allowing you or enabling you to connect with your customers on a deeper level, as opposed to buy this product, right? Letting them know why you do the things you do, investing in what you believe in. We're really great at capturing that type of video content, and then you can utilize that and throw some ads on that baby and make some more money. To wrap us up, I have a different message to read out. Are we good to go with that now, Giovanni?
You sure can. I was just responding to this comment that I saw that came from us. We just got affirmed with the value that we're out here putting. So I was just putting on there, but you can definitely close us out.
Okay, let me see. I missed it. Tamisha, I forgot I took y'all's advice about sponsorship. Ooh! And hold on, I can't even see it. And everyone that could help have with Double Dutch for SC. I remember South Carolina, what y'all talked about, and put Tamisha
will not be where she is today in the next
not
6
in
months.
6 months.
Come on with the action.
Not in 3 months. No, she's already not there, because she's already not there, because she's already growing. Right?
And is evolving.
Go to me. Shut
did it. You should have been in the studio so you could do your little.
Listen.
See? That's what I'm talking about.
And you know what? For anybody watching this, like, Giovanni and I have been doing this, I don't know how long. We've been doing it for a good minute.
It'll be a year. So we're coming up on a year.
The front door.
It's already shut.
We've been doing this for almost a year.
Almost a year next month.
And it is honestly, like, we talk about 2 main things. It's about business and wellness. So you'll always catch some sort of tea on Herbal Tea Thursday. But like to be able to hear, Tamisha's been rocking with us for a few months now, but to be able to ask us questions and we go out and see what's going on in the world and come back and give you guys all that great stuff. And for you to come back and be like, I want to say, I want to put that shit to work. Let's go, because that's what it's all about. It's all about us growing together, right? Making decisions that help us with our growth, with our health, with just motivating each other. And like, congratulations to Misha, because you the one. And she already not where she was 6 months ago.
Agree. And then her wellness win. Remember when she was struggling with some health concerns, and now she passed her own physical. Like, she's been out here with it. We won't be shouting Paul out.
I know.
Thanks, Paul, for the engagement.
Thanks, Paul. Paul, all this tells me is you need friends that actually care about you so that you can recognize that this is love. This doesn't have to be all of that type of love. This is just sheer, natural, women supporting women love. But we appreciate you, Paul. Thanks for dropping in. Come back next Thursday. Paul, don't get jealous. We will come.
I'm just so proud of you, Tamisha. Good job.
Absolutely.
And the thing about it with Tamisha too is she's a vocal part of our community. You know what I mean? Because she's the one who said, "Oh, when we were going through the podcast summit conference things and where we were going, hey, can y'all let us know what's happening with sponsorships and stuff like that?" And I think that's why we came back and we dedicated an episode based on the notes, our experiences, and what we put out there. And so I'm just like, I'm proud of you. I mean, you really can only get but so much if you're engaging with it. And so we appreciate you for not only being a loyal member of our community, but your engagement and your voice in all of this allows us to keep going. And it tells us what we should come back with in regards to our experiences and how we kind of support each other with wanting us all to see success. So, all right, Shireen, you can close us out.
All right. Oh, hold on, let me move that one from there. Tamisha, amazing. All right, so this is the message I pulled up in the intranets from my email. Shifts and bends, and I randomly picked it. I didn't even read it before. I just randomly opened it. Shifts and bends in the road are all a part of the journey. I trust the process and flow like water along the river of life. I am walking with confidence along the path less traveled, with a deep knowing that my journey is a mission much bigger than me. Honestly, I'm gonna run it back because I didn't even expect that.
It's bigger than me, baby.
Give me 1 sec. I'm gonna try to put it right beside my screen so I could.
I like that.
It's
bigger than me. Y'all, your dreams are bigger than you. They're not for you.
Go ahead, hon.
That's it. It's bigger than you. I'm just resonating with it.
Shifts and bends in the road are all a part of the journey. I trust the process and flow like water along the river of life. I am walking with confidence along the path less traveled, with a deep knowing that my journey is a mission much bigger than me. I love it.
I do too.
It was a perfect message for us.
It was.
All right, folks.
Thank y'all for tuning in to another Herbal Tea Thursday. We're all about your wellness and your wellness wins, your well-being, as well as the way you go out here and live these dreams. So y'all go live your dreams and remember it's bigger than you.
Have a wonderful, wonderful day, folks.
Thanks for vibing with us, y'all.
Give me a moment.